What if a single piece of fabric could hold a memory, tell a story, and last 100 years, all at the same time? In the next 11 minutes, you're going to see works of art that most people walk right past without realizing what they're looking at. These are not just quilts. There are thousands of decisions, every color chosen, every seam pressed, every stitch placed with purpose. Some of the pieces you're about to see took hundreds of hours to complete. One of them might have been made for someone who is no longer here. Another might have been made for someone not yet born. Stay with us. By the end, you may never look at a quilt the same way again. What you're about to see is more than fabric and thread. It's color and patience, tradition and creativity, community and care, all stitched together one piece at a time. Quilting is one of the oldest textile arts in the world. For thousands of years, across cultures and continents, people have taken small pieces of cloth and sewn them into something larger, something warmer, something beautiful. In doing so, they've left behind records of their lives, the fabrics from a wedding dress, a child's worn shirt, a grandmother's apron, all preserved and transformed into something meant to last. In America, quilting carries a particular place in the cultural story. The earliest American quilts were born of necessity. Fabric was scarce and precious, and nothing was wasted. Scraps were saved, sorted, and eventually brought together into quilts that kept families warm through long and brutal winters. But even in those earliest days, necessity quickly became artistry. The women and men who made those quilts didn't simply sew pieces together. They arranged them with intention, with symmetry, with an eye toward beauty that transcended the practical. Over time, patterns emerged and spread. Names were given to them, names like log cabin, flying geese, double wedding ring, Ohio star, bear's paw, and cathedral windows. These patterns traveled with families as they moved west, passed down through generations, shared between neighbors, and taught to daughters and granddaughters and friends. Each region developed its own variations, its own preferences, its own traditions, and so quilting became not just a craft, but a living language, a way of communicating across time and distance. In the Midwest, and especially here on the Great Plains of Northwest Iowa, quilting has always been part of the fabric of community life. Sioux Center is a town built on faith, family, and a deep sense of belonging, and quilting reflects all three. The quilting groups that are here represent something rare and precious in a busy world. People coming together not for profit or obligation, but for the simple joy of making something beautiful, side by side. The quilting groups of Sioux Center have long been a quiet but vital part of this community. They meet in church basements and living rooms, in community centers and school halls. They gather around tables spread with fabric and batting, with thread and thimbles, with coffee and conversation. What happens in those gatherings goes far beyond the quilts themselves. Friendships are formed and deepened, stories are shared. Wisdom is passed from experienced hands to eager new ones. And in the process, something of each person, their taste, their care, their time, is sewn into every piece. The quilts you see here today are a result of countless hours of work. Consider what it takes to make a single quilt. The choosing of fabrics, which alone can take hours as a quilter holds swaths up to the light, considers their colors in relationship to one another, imagines how they will look when cut and pieced together. Then comes the cutting, precise and methodical, because in quilting, a fraction of an inch matters. Then the piecing, sewing small shapes into blocks, blocks into rows, rows into the quilt top. Then the layering of top, batting, and backing. And then the quilting itself, the stitching that holds all three layers together, whether by hand or by machine, often following intricate patterns of its own. A typical quilt might take 40 hours to complete. Many take far more. Some of the most complex works on display here today may represent hundreds of hours of careful, patient, loving labor. This is not an abstraction. That is someone's evenings and weekends, their early mornings and quiet afternoons, poured into something they hope will bring joy to others. And quilts do bring joy. They warm bodies and warm hearts. They're given as gifts to mark the great occasions of life. Births and weddings, graduations and anniversaries. They are made to comfort the grieving and to celebrate the living. They're passed down as heirlooms, carrying with them the memory of the hands that made them. There is perhaps no more personal gift a person can give than a quilt made by their own hands. To receive one is to receive time itself. Time spent thinking of you, working for you, and hoping for you. The tradition of the quilt show itself is a beautiful expression of community. It's an invitation. Come and see what we have made. Come and appreciate the work of your neighbors. Come and be inspired. Quilt shows have been a part of American life for well over a century, providing quilters with a venue to share their craft, to see the work of others, and to be encouraged in their own creative pursuits.
That's pretty.
All three of these are the same kit, but it didn't say which fabric to use for which thing. So Jan used this light blue here, but Betty and Carol put this purple here. So it kind of made a square, but then Jan did her purple over here and made a completely different shape.
They are, in their own quiet way, a kind of celebration, a skill, of creativity, of perseverance, and of the human impulse to make things of beauty. As you watch the quilts displayed here today, we invite you to look slowly. Notice the precision of the points where pieces meet. Notice the range of colors and how they play against one another. Notice the variety of techniques on display. Traditional piecing and modern design, hand quilting and machine quilting, applique and embroidery, simple elegance and breathtaking complexity. Each quilt here is the work of a unique human being with a unique vision, and each one deserves your full attention. Notice, too, the range of patterns and styles represented. Some quilters here are devoted to the classic designs that have been made for generations, honoring a tradition that stretches back across the centuries. Others push in new directions, using contemporary fabrics and modern design principles to create quilts that are unmistakably of this moment. Both impulses are beautiful. Both are necessary. The tradition lives precisely because each generation brings something new to it. We're grateful to all of the quilters who have contributed their work to this show. Your willingness to share what you've made, to bring it out of your homes and into this space for others to enjoy, is a gift to our community. Thank you for your generosity, your skill, and your dedication to a craft that has brought beauty and warmth to human life for as long as people have sewn cloth together. And to those of you watching who've never made a quilt, we hope that what you see here today sparks something in you. The quilting community is a welcoming one. there is always room for new hands, new ideas, new voices. The groups here in Sioux Center would be glad to welcome you.
These ones here are the Sioux Stitchers Challenge. We each drew these things. We had to get the theme, a shape, technique, color, and an embellishment. So she drew nature, diamonds, applique, and green. And this is what she came up with it. Carol, red, seasons. I think she had to do circle, and her embellishment was this. Lori chose blue, and she had seasons too, so she picked winter, and her embellishment was ribbon, and she wove this ribbon. And Esther's, she probably got nature, and her embellishment was this tool.
This is what quilting is at its heart. Not just the making of a beautiful object, but the making of a connection between people, between generations, between the practical and the beautiful, between the individual and the community. We hope you enjoy what you see.